Welcome to my channel, Sonia Unapologetic, or if you've been here before, welcome back. Before we go any further, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a video. So I have a special guest here, Miss Deanna Chandler. Deanna plays many different roles in life. Deanna is an actress, she's a director, she's a producer, she's a writer. She is the founder of Hacked Beauty. She is a teacher. She is a mom. She is a daughter. Deanna plays many different roles, and I specifically wanted to talk to Deanna today because she has a new film out by the name of Reflections. And so, Deanna, I'm going to go ahead and pass on to you and let you give your brief introduction and let the people know about yourself.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for having me on tonight, Sonia. You're right. I'm a mother of two beautiful children. They're very talented individuals, and I have done well, I might say, in making sure that they are a part of um, the industry as well as just being themselves in life in general. But yes, I'm a mother of two. I am a daughter. I am an entrepreneur as well as writer, director, producer, actress as well, which is always my first love, the acting side of it. But I'm excited to be here and share a little bit about my movie, which, as you know, it is now streaming on streaming platforms. And I will share with you reflections. That's like it was. I'm gonna say the original form of the movie was we started shooting way back long time ago, pretty much 2015. So the
Mhm.
new movie, I'll call it the new version of Reflections, was birthed pretty much about a year ago. So I'm excited about it. Super excited about it.
Yes, I was very excited to be able to attend the red carpet premiere that you had here in Dallas. That was just really nice being able to see it before the whole world got to see it. And actually, Reflections is on the screen. I know you guys can't see it too well, but it's
Yay!
on the screen behind me. And that's just a way that you guys can support independent filmmakers. Watch, stream the stuff on Tubi and wherever these films are available. Just when even when you're just kind of walking around the house and have downtime, I feel like that's a great way to get the
Yeah.
views up for independent filmmakers. Because sometimes you might be walking around the house and have the TV off. Why have the TV
Yeah.
off?
Stream Reflections movies on available on Tubi. We're available on Amazon Prime as well as Google Play. For most of the Android lovers have Google Play. But yeah, definitely. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. But I would love for everybody to tune in and just see what we came up with. Like I said, we started this film back in 2015. Oh
Mhm.
gosh, really probably 2014. We initially screened the old Jaded back in 2015, and to see it just come to fruition as a full feature, I will say it's been a journey. I will definitely say that much, but I'm proud of what we came up with. Um, it inspired me to keep writing, so I have so much other stuff I'm writing in relation to the new film Reflection. So it's exciting for sure.
Yes. So, I'm gonna let you give just a quick summary of the film without telling people the whole, all the spoilers. But
Right.
what you want us to know about the film.
Okay, well, Reflections is about a group of ladies who get together based off of Brooke's invite for their monthly book club meeting, where she invites her girlfriends over for brunch. Everybody loves a good brunch with the ladies, so you can chit chat and talk it up and, pretty much catch up with everything the girls had going on. So, pretty much, she invited the ladies over for brunch, and within conversation, she shares about an older book that she read previously. So that's where the film Jada Reflections actually was birthed from. So she's telling this story about a previous book, and it's like a flashback in between the right now of them ladies meeting together. They're kind of critiquing and stating if it's a situation they would even get into. And when I say situation, meaning the story that she tells, her girls is about an arranged marriage. So that situation kind of brings about other conversation, which kind of leads the girls into talking about love, talking about relationships, as well as body image. You know, maybe one of the ladies had a little situation where she wasn't feeling as comfortable about her body, so she did some things. I'll say. So you just got to tune in and check everything out. But it's definitely a must see, definitely.
Those
And it's
juicy.
a great conversation piece
Yeah.
for ladies, for relationships, for friendships, about love, and just even the arranged marriage situation. I
Mhm.
mean, it brings about the questions: is something you would participate in for economic status or for money? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just put it out there.
Yeah, one thing that I liked about the movie is that it really pulled you in. Any movie to where a group of people, a group of long friends are sitting around talking and chatting, the
Hmm.
viewer feels like they're the extra friend in the conversation. It's almost like I felt like I was there
Wow.
sitting with the ladies and amongst and participating in the conversation. So I feel like it really pulled you in. It was really relatable to the fact that just having those girls nights with your friends. So it really caught.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. You know, I think one of my biggest concerns after I wrote the script was, oh my gosh, is this enough? Is this enough? Is this gonna make people tune in? Because think about it, sometimes when you have talk shows or different conversations and people
Mhm.
tend to get bored. But I've heard that as far as the reviews that I've read and of course what people have shared with me, they love it. They actually it kept their interest because
Yeah.
I think with the matter of the different personalities of the ladies, it made people think, okay, well, what is this one going to say? How are they going to react? What's going to happen next? So I think I crafted it a way where it was able to draw people in to keep them tuned in to find out well what's going to happen next in the story, even
Yeah.
as well as with Jade and Pacer, their love affair that they have.
Yes. Yes, and I felt like it was so colorful and beautiful. You and the ladies were dressed so beautifully, and it just I
Yeah.
just love the imagery. It was just really nice.
Oh, thank you. Shout out. I cannot not shout out my stylist,
Mhm.
Takesha Johnson, which is the Visionista. They have definitely great talent. Her and my makeup artist, Courtney, they did a phenomenal job on set. And I'm going to tell you, they went above and beyond. They went above and beyond. They were there with me past midnight. Okay. So shout out to Takesha Johnson for her beautiful talents and work, as well as Courtney, my makeup artist.
Yes, because everybody looked beautiful. All the ladies looked beautiful. And
Thank
so,
you. Thank you.
you talked about wow, you've been making this film because you started with the first portion, which was a short film. You said you started doing that in 2015. So,
Yeah.
wow. So this has been like an 8-year journey. This second time
Yes.
around with this piece of it, to add to the film to make it into a feature film, how long did that take from start to finish to add the second piece from writing up
Okay.
to it actually streaming? How long did that take?
Okay. Honestly, let's see. Well, let me back you up. I started writing about a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
So pretty much last summer. Let's see, we shot it August of last year. So I started writing sometime maybe like April, May, June, around that time at the end of the school year for me.
Mhm.
And it didn't take me long. It did not take me long at all. Maybe a good solid couple of weeks. I had a script. I had a real good friend at the time. He'd always call me like, "What are you doing with Jaded?" I'm like, nothing. It's just sitting right now. I have a feature I've been writing on, which honestly, Sonya, I've been writing on that feature for like 12 years, literally. I have a whole feature for the original content of what you saw within the film Reflections. So
Okay.
he'd always ask, "What are you doing with this project?" I was like, nothing. It's my first project. It's a short. He's like, "You
Mhm.
should extend it out. Start writing. Get off your butt, D. He just had that much belief in my talents. He's like, you need to start back writing again." I said, okay. So he kind of talked me into getting things going again. And once I got into it, everything just got to flowing, and I feel like everything was awakened. So
Yeah.
he, kind of talked me into sitting my butt down and getting started again. And after, next thing you know, I had the new script for Reflections. And
Yeah.
I will say it took me maybe a couple of weeks or so to get a good 30 some odd pages to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we were shooting in August.
Okay.
So a couple months later, we were shooting. Like
Uh-huh.
I said, we shot August the 6th of last year, and here
Mm.
we are, about a year and a few months out later.
Oh, wow. And that
Yeah.
is the thing that it just shows that when someone's a filmmaker and writer,
Hmm.
it takes a while. It's like it really has to be your passion because, like you said, there's something that you've been writing for 12 years.
Honestly, yes. Like I said, I have a whole.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody has questions on, well, why would I'm gonna say one of the characters in the story do this, or why would they? What would be their motive in doing this or
Yeah.
that? I have all the answers in my feature, which I have not released yet, but I
Yeah.
will say that's the motive for everything,
Okay.
the original motive.
Yes. Yes, that's and we met in 2014. We
Hmm.
met on the set of someone else's film to where I was casting and you were trying out for that film. So you were auditioning for that film.
It wasn't Desperate Chocolate, was it?
It wasn't Desperate Chocolate. I don't even know I want to say this, guys. The name
Okay,
of the
okay, I
film.
got you. Change subject. I got you.
We met back in 2014 because I was doing the casting on someone else
Okay.
film, but it seemed like a lot of our stuff as far as I started writing Desperate Chocolate
Hmm.
in 2014 and released the first one in 2015 and then
Hmm.
released the second one in 2016. So you're definitely an inspiration for me to get back out there, which I have gotten back out there and
Yes,
working on features now as far as the writing. But I just want my viewers to know like it does take some time.
it does.
So it's like
And- and-
I appreciate the support. Everyone be patient with me because I am working, I am writing,
Yes,
and
she's
we play
working, and
new
she's a
roles.
yeah, and she's definitely a phenomenal talent. I always try to keep her inspired and say, "Hey, you can do it." And I will say, as women, female filmmakers, there's somewhat sense of um sometimes I guess maybe we feel like, are we good enough, or are we doing the right things? Are we making the right moves? But,
Mm-hmm.
I guess my advice to any other female filmmakers, just trust your gut instinct and
Mm-hmm.
go with what the talents that you have and the craft that you know you're good at. If you're good at being a visionary, be a
Mm-hmm.
visionary. If you're
Mm-hmm.
good at writing dialogue, which I'm a dialogue person, I know I'm good at dialogue. And so,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's what I do. I know how to write different people's perspectives because that's what life is about. Different people's perspectives and opinions on what they think about a specific topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, my advice would be just keep writing and just keep sharing and keep being inspired by other people. And I
Mm-hmm.
will say there are people that inspire me.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many times somebody tell me I inspire them. I'm just feeling like, oh, it's a little bit overwhelming hearing those things, but
Yes.
it's the truth. And if I inspire people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm honored and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. But definitely keep writing, Sonya. You're on your way.
Yeah, for sure. And for you, just in the midst of you writing this and getting reflections that it's now streaming on many different services, you play so many roles in life. How is it the fact that you're a teacher, mom, and then also you've been dealing with your mom being sick, as well?
Hmm.
How is it having all that going on? How did that affect you making a film on top of all that? Like, how did you balance everything?
How do I balance everything? I will say at the time when I was writing Reflections, my mom, originally she lived in Arkansas, so she was there. So I knew, and I'm gonna share with the audience. Of course, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer about 3 years ago, and she, of course, dealt with her initial diagnosis back in like 2010, and so that's where some of the jaded, reflections, the storyline was inspired by, her dealing with breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
But so, her diagnosis at the time when I started writing Reflections was already, in progress.
Mhm.
She was doing well, just still maintaining. So I will say that me sitting down and writing, that was the easy part. And then when it came time to the film production, that's when all the stress kind of kicks in, because you're trying to produce, you're trying to, you know, play mom in the summertime, trying to uphold everything at the household. But I just know that I'm just gonna say prayer helped me through,
Yeah.
just praying and doing. And I'm a person, like, when I'm presented with a challenge, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I meet up to that challenge, and that person challenged me. And I
Mhm.
will say that once we got into production, my mom actually was in town at the time, so she was my support system and
Mhm.
pushing me on and say, "Hey, yeah, D, you can do it." So also having those people in your life that are able to help push you to greatness, or
Yeah.
just to be in your ear and be like, "No, baby, you got this." Even though on set there are different things that we experience that, for instance, I had a young lady a part of the production, and she missed her flight.
Oh, wow.
And so during the middle of my very first scene, I'm getting this information, and it was hard. It was a lot of adjustments we had to make, and
Mhm.
it's just about making sure you have the right team around you, to keep you motivated and keep you on the right track. So I will say that balancing motherhood, um, filmmaker, it's a challenge, and you just pretty much got to have the right people in your ear, keeping you uplifted when those things go, when the good things turn to bad things. So that's
Mm.
very important, having the right team in place.
Yeah, and I'm guessing the motivation of you being passionate about filmmaking, I'm sure
Hmm.
that really helps to push you along as well,
Yes,
keeps you
I
going.
love it. I love it. If I could do it full time, believe me, I would. I would do it full time.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we're
Yeah.
putting that out into the universe for both of us
Woo,
to be able
yay!
to do
Yes, put it out there.
full time at some point.
Hmm.
So okay, as far as you know, acting and writing, when did your career in acting start?
I started back in like 2004. I graduated college in 2005. I was one of those people that went to college for 10 years. I worked at a hair salon for like, well, I worked in as a stylist for 17 years. But back when I was graduating college, I took some acting classes at
Mm-hmm.
UTA. And one of my girlfriends, she was like, "Hey, there's a stage play you need to come audition for," and it happened to be at their house.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, I went there and I auditioned. It was the play was called Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. I
Mm-hmm.
went and auditioned, and he gave me the lead role. So I played Gina back in the day, and we did one production at the Scotts Theater in Fort Worth, and
Mm-hmm.
then we redid the production again a couple years later, and I got to be a part of that cast as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
will say I started back in 2003, 2004,
Mm-hmm.
and then I really didn't do anything else for a long, long time. I I think I started acting again back in like 2011. I
Okay.
auditioned for a stage play and met some people who introduced me to other people, and I ended up on a film set from that particular stage play. So yeah, been
Okay.
doing this since like 2004,
Okay.
20
Wow.
years.
And then did you feel any self-consciousness about starting your acting career, like when you said you tried out for the stage play
Hmm. Hmm.
and they gave you the lead role? Did you always feel like because you have a passion for it that you just have the utmost confidence, or is there some self-consciousness around?
I deal with some self consciousness with it, and I will say it trickles down. I think even to this day, um, I have always been the one to share and to be transparent. I'll say, so that I think if you talk to me, you'll know I'm very transparent. I will say that when I auditioned in 2011, and I'm going to share this is I told God if I ever had a platform, I'll share this.
Okay.
This is this top notch right here.
Okay, I
But
get the exclusive.
yeah,
Go
you
ahead.
get the exclusive. In 2011, I'm gonna back you up. 2010,
Uh-huh.
I suffered a stroke.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in 2010, I was
I think
teaching.
you may have
Like,
told me that years
yeah, I think I did. I probably share with you because we've gotten into conversations at certain times. But I suffered a stroke in 2010. It was the end of my school year,
ago.
and I'm like 35 years old. And there's like, well, we don't. well, we think it could be from this or from that, but that's what I experienced in 2010. And so I went through a period where my only concern was, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to do this again? Am I going to be able to remember lines again? And I had to, my brother was the one who inspired me. He said, D, I look up to you. Go into that room and audition and tell them people exactly what you went through, and God gonna work it out for you. And that's exactly what He did. I went and I shared. I was actually transparent, like, look, because they called me
Mm-hmm.
after I was, had gotten released from the hospital, so I'm healing and all that good stuff. And I'm like, they're like, hey, can you do a stage play? I'm like, yeah. But I didn't know if I could do it. But I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, God showed up and He gave me the right words to say to them. Not only that, He gave me the right words to, do that actual
Mm-hmm.
stage play. And from then on, I will say, yes, I was self conscious about certain things, and I was wondering, will I be able to remember my lines? But hey, I made it through it, and all I know is God is good. And so from there on, then on, everybody deals with insecurities at times, I'll say, but yeah, I think everybody does.
Well, that just showed that it was meant to be. You had
Hmm.
been through a stroke, and
Yes, yes,
I'm sure that was just probably very shocking because
yeah,
you're still very young, and I don't know, the ages
yeah.
for people who suffer strokes, but I always suspected that it was, older a lot of times, but
Yeah, and we all would usually think that, but typically I learned that a lot of people, even younger than 35, were dealing or battling those type of issues, were suffering from strokes, whether from high cholesterol or either something in the uh, family line or whatever. But I
yeah.
will say there's also birth control methods that cause women
Mm,
to have strokes. I don't know if you're aware of that. But I
yeah.
did a little bit of research, so I know that, of course, you can deal with trauma, stress, cholesterol, as well as birth control methods that can contribute to that. And I was pretty much dealing with all 4 or 5 of those. So, yes, that's my story.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, with
Hmm.
us. Another thing that I want to talk about is the film industry here in Dallas,
Hmm.
and specifically for Black creatives. I know everyone thinks about Atlanta when they think about like Black Hollywood. It's like, oh, it's Atlanta. But tell us about, or just explain to viewers, like, what is the film industry like here in Dallas and the opportunities to, partake in filmmaking, if you live in Dallas.
Well, I would say there are tons of opportunity. I will say, depending on um, how many writers are out there, there's tons of them, but I would say there are lots of opportunity, and it's a
Mhm.
matter of you getting either with the right individuals. I'll say individuals because sometimes it can kind of seem a little clicked up at times, but
Yeah.
it's about trusting your talent, trusting your judgment, and getting with the right writers, and just going out and auditioning for roles. There are plenty of roles out here, and then I will say also, if it's not the role specifically for you, then create it. That's part of why I started.
Yeah.
I've always seen myself as a leading lady.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I didn't initially write myself in that way, but had to grow to that. But I'm saying initially, if it's not out there, then you create it, make it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the Dallas film industry right now is booming. I mean, there's lots of great talents, lots of actors out there that are trying to find work, and the work is there. On the level of Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not so much, but I look at independent filmmaking as being a great opportunity just to get a jump start on that career if you want to branch out to Atlanta or
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
More than anything, there are definitely opportunities out here, and we're booming right now. There's
Yeah.
tons of people I know that are getting their projects on streaming sites, and
Mm-hmm.
granting opportunities for other people to get work, whether it's them starting out or either just them even going to the next level where they're getting agents and all that great stuff. So yeah, it's definitely an opportunity here in Dallas. The
Yeah.
next Dollywood, is it called Dollywood? Dollywood.
I like that Dollywood.
Dollywood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know right
It
now,
sounds exciting.
I know right now they're dealing with the writers and SAG AFTRA
Yes.
strikes and everything. So But I
Yes, it's
know
definitely affecting a lot
before
of
all
people
that
right
was
now.
going on, I knew people who moved to LA because
Mhm.
they really wanted to jumpstart a career
Mhm.
in acting.
Mhm.
And then they were in LA and they're just like, I'm really not getting any roles. And then they came back to Texas
And they
and
booming now. They all, you see them all over Tubi and
yeah,
Amazon, all the sites. Yes,
yeah.
yes,
So
definitely a problem.
yeah, I feel like people shouldn't sleep on, other states, outside of California
Mhm.
being
Right.
a place to where you can be successful. And I would guess that when people go to LA, there's so much competition,
That's what it is.
and it's like you probably really have to get into these cliques, and if you're not in there, it's probably
Mhm.
just very difficult. And then you come back to Texas and you're like, wow, I'm getting roles. I'm
Yeah. That's what I found, that most of the people that went to LA, not to say there aren't some people that are really doing great things out there, because I've seen it both ways. I've seen people that I've cast in some of my projects back in the day move to LA and they come back and they're actually doing a lot of great work here,
yeah.
and getting their flowers. But I will say that it's just pretty much you got to do what's best for you in your situation at the time. I was in LA for like 6 7 months, and I my goal was when I graduated college, oh, I'm gonna go out here and work for entertainment company.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you connected in, this is a little harder ride. And I knew I had there's only so long I could be out there in LA, without any money, trying to figure it out.
I'm sure there's kind of like, okay, well, who do you know? And you're like,
Right, right. It's about who you know. And of course you got to put in that work. But yes,
yeah,
sometimes it's about who you know for sure.
yeah. So, okay, so as far as your career in acting,
Mhm.
I know that you've worked with Trevante Rhodes, which kinda.
Let me just say this. Sherrod Rhodes, yes. I didn't work with him on set that day. When he was on set, I wasn't on set. You mean for Lady Luck, the movie?
Yes, for Lady Luck.
Look, yeah, Lady Luck was
He's
my
the guy
very first feature film.
from Moonlight and
Uh-huh.
Bird Box
Yeah.
for you guys who are like, who is that? But okay, you were in the movie Lady Luck. He was also in the movie Lady Luck
Yeah.
before he was the Trevante
Right, right,
Rhodes.
right, right. And I didn't even get to meet him on set. I just
No.
heard about other people's experiences with him. He's a great talent, did a
Mhm.
great job. And actually Lady Luck was my very first feature film. I
Okay.
went in the audition, and I ain't gonna tell you what I did in the audition, but it's probably I shouldn't have done it. But some kind of way I got the role.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it was kind of one of those things where it was my very first time auditioning for a feature film, and
Yeah.
I'm in the section where I should have been, and so I delivered my lines. I walked up and tried to act out something with the director, so I'm shocked I even got the role, but I guess I delivered good enough to get it. But yes, that was my very first feature film.
Okay,
Yes.
so you were like, I'm a method actress. I'm in character and
Don't ever do that. Stay in your place so they can film you on camera. Don't go up to the directors playing lines in their face like you're about to slap them. No, just don't ever do that. But
yeah, because
no,
what do they
just for the
call
record, that's my
that? Because with your auditions, they'll videotape the audition. So
yeah.
what they call it, slating? Is that what they call
Hmm.
it?
Or you
And
slate and then you, of course, deliver your lines. But they
so
usually
that
like for you to stay there in that one spot, that
yeah,
one area.
because I couldn't because when I did the the casting for Desperate Chocolate, I
Hmm.
was able to go back and look through all of that footage
Hmm.
because a lot of times you're gonna forget, like, okay,
Yeah.
were they, I remember them, but how did they compare to the other person? But
How they deliver, right?
I can imagine I would go back and look at the tape like, wait a minute, we can't
This
see
girl
her.
stepped all the way into character, and yeah, it worked out for me. But I had to learn, and I learned. I think one of the guys that was on set that day,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, in the casting call, he was like, "Don't you ever leave that spot and go and deliver your lines with the director. That's a bit
So
much." But
also
but
in
he said, "I
Lady
told him you were passionate about it. You really were passionate about the role. So yeah, definitely, I learned my lesson."
So also in Lady Luck, D. Ellis, is that his name? Who's a
Uh-huh. D.
big
Ellis, there's D. Ellis. We had um Mama from Soul Food,
okay, MP Hall, yeah.
Irma P. Hall, yes.
Uh-huh.
Trevant Rose, Swazina.
Uh-huh.
She's in LA, of course, acting. She plays
Yes.
my sister Stella in the film. I don't
Yeah.
know if anybody's seen it, but Lady Luck 1 and 2 is out on, I think, Tubi. Yeah,
Okay.
Tubi. And we'll be shooting 3 soon. That's all I do know.
Really? Oh,
But it wasn't a cat.
exciting.
I wasn't supposed to let out the bag. I don't know, but yes.
Awesome. That is and you really do inspire me. Like I'm, really back into writing and just kind of, putting my feelings into it, like feeling the characters. I don't know about you when you write,
Hmm.
if it's something deep, if the
Hmm.
character is supposed to get emotional and you're writing at the
Hmm.
dialogue, do you ever feel like, okay, I'm getting emotional too? Do you ever get to that point?
Yes, because pretty much I will say, like, even for reflections, I had a personal connection with each and every one of those characters. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, Tori, played by Missy Lee, she's a teacher. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
teacher, so you really can see each a piece of me in each one of those characters. So I
Mm-hmm.
will say that much. You have a personal connection with them, so of course you're gonna feel things, or it's gonna come across on the paper based
Mm-hmm.
off your emotions. So I definitely can relate to having those characters feel through you.
Yeah, and I think that's why I know I'm on the right track because I'm like, if I'm sitting here, I know what's about to happen. I'm getting emotional.
Yeah, and are you getting upset because you going in about, whether it's getting upset about whatever? Yes, that's real true writing there.
Yes, yes. So okay, as far as working with different actors, actresses, who are some people that you're like, wow, I hope to be able to work for them in the future, whether they're an independent artist here in Dallas that you haven't worked with, or somebody, A-list actress, actor? Who are some people that are on your list that you want to work with?
Gosh, I'm gonna tell you guys on the truth. I'm a Taraji P. Henson fan.
Yeah.
I'm an Angela Bassett fan. But
Mm-hmm.
most of all, the person that inspired me the most, Felicia Rashad from The Cosby Show. When I
Yeah.
was a little girl, I
Mm-hmm.
sit in front of that television watching The Cosby Show. Anybody talking to me, I tuned everybody out. I just thought she had so much class and grace, and she was like the mama that, I ain't gonna lie, to everybody wish they had.
Like, sorry, mama.
Like, oh, no, she was smart, she was classy, she was sophisticated, but she didn't play about her children, and she wanted them to, be directed in the right path. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just got a lot of inspiration from her, seeing her. And then I will share another thing. My uncle, um,
Oh
I,
yeah, I remember your
let me tell you something. My uncle, I want to do a role with him, a
mm-hmm.
movie, something, a stage play, something. Eugene Lee, he's
Yeah.
my uncle. He played in Minister Society and Coach Carter, and he's a phenomenal writer and actor on Broadway.
Yeah.
So that is one of my goals, to
Uh-huh.
do a movie with my uncle. Hey, that'll
Mhm.
make me happy as well. Definitely somebody that I'm inspired by and I look up to.
Yeah, I do remember that now because I remember watching films with
Hmm.
him in it. And I remember years ago, you're like, oh, that's my uncle. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, what the American? What's the story on Netflix? American Son. American Son. Yes, he's
Okay.
in that.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's,
I saw him in Yaki's film Wolf,
oh yeah,
which that
oh yeah,
was a I'm sure that was a difficult because it was a difficult subject.
role.
Wolf
Hmm.
is about yeah, I know certain things we can't say on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's about SA. Her uncle was the perpetrator, and then
Right.
it was a young man that he was
Right.
a mentor to. So
Right. And yeah, he definitely, yeah. Seeing that, it was hard to watch, I will say, but yeah.
I could imagine. Yeah, I never think about that. Like, If you have to play certain roles, or if you have to
Hmm.
watch someone close to you play, the
Hmm.
bad guy. And speaking of like
Yeah.
playing the bad guy, one thing that you were talking about, Felicia Rashad, when she was in the Tyler Perry movie, that's on Netflix, but she played the villain.
Where the lady had the younger guy and she played the mother. Yeah, that was hard.
Yes.
I've
But
never really seen her in a role of that caliber where she was the
yes, I think I can
like one of the antagonists.
A Fall from Grace, I think it was A Fall from Grace.
You're right.
Okay, yes. So Felicia
Yes.
Rashad was the villain in A Fall from
Yes.
Grace. That was so amazing. I love
Yeah, I
seeing
didn't expect that.
I love seeing actors and actresses play something totally different from what they're used to playing. Like, so
Yeah.
if there's a comedian and they end up
Hmm.
playing a serious role, I
Hmm.
love it. I
Yes.
love
Yes.
seeing that.
It
So
shows their depth of
yeah,
all the things they can do.
yeah, they have some range. So I guess I'm gonna let you give some advice for anyone, because my theme is Black women play so many different roles.
Okay.
And so, for a Black woman or just anyone
Hmm.
who has so much stuff going on in their life, but they also want to be a filmmaker or a writer or a singer
Yeah.
or whatever, what is your advice, and how, what would just be your encouragement to them?
Well, I would first just say, do whatever it is that you really truly desire to do. Um, have a team. Have a team of people. There's no way you can make a movie by yourself. Period. A team of people that you trust. A team of people that support and understand what your message is for your brand. I
Mhm,
will say, because sometimes people try to connect with you for whatever reasons, and
mhm,
if your brand doesn't stand what their brand stands for, then they're not the person that you should be connected to. So
mhm,
definitely go for what you want in life. Stay organized. Get you a team get you a team that you
mhm.
can trust.
Yeah,
And then most of all, you gotta have those contracts in order.
yeah.
As producer, contracts are important. Having an attorney on your side is important, as well as a lot of times we have family members and friends, and we think they're going to be the ones to support us. Do you know a complete stranger will be the main one that come and support your projects?
Yeah, that's
So don't always have have your expectations so high, expecting the certain people to support you. Just
yeah.
put it out there. And I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of things lately where I think we get so caught up on social media about acceptance and
Hmm.
getting the support system. If it's your passion, do your project. Get it out there to the masses, and the people that truly are going to support you, they're going to come. You
Hmm.
know, one thing I've always been a firm believer is, if you're naturally talented, people will come and flock to you or support you, and if they see a true talent and passion in what you're doing. But I
Hmm.
don't know, I just never been the one like to beg for supporters, if that makes any type of sense. But I know you have to do certain things in this industry to be seen. But
Hmm.
I've always been an organic person, where I feel like organically, if it's supposed to happen, it's going to happen. If you're
Hmm.
putting in that work, what should come to you will come.
Hmm.
I'm a firm believer in that.
That is great advice. When I did Desperate Chocolate, especially doing the first one and doing a movie premiere, when I saw all those people lined up outside a theater and they're, ready to go in, I didn't know half of those people. It's
Really?
like, who are some of these people?
Uh-huh.
And I say that in a good way, that
Yeah.
I was so honored that a lot of people that, I didn't know them, and they took time out of their evening, they bought a ticket. And
Hmm.
this is the thing too, like with the Black film industry here, when
Uh-huh.
one of us have a movie premiere, Black
Hmm.
people come dressed to impress, because the other
Baby,
people
they trying to get on that red carpet.
the other people, who are there to watch other movies, they get their popcorn like, who are all those Black people who are dressed up? Like,
What are they
what's
doing?
going on here?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, I will say, because I remember when I did Jaded back in the day, I put it out there. I think I sold tickets for like $10 and I had a sold out crowd. And I was like, dang, these people are here for me. Even as
Mm-hmm.
well as for casting.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting down with my mom and all these emails were coming in. People were submitting their stuff for the
Mm-hmm.
characters. And I was like, Mama, because I made her like administrative something at the time, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I was like, Mama, I said, these people, I've been in projects with these people and they want to be in my stuff. I was like, I don't have money to pay them, but I was just all in my head about things. But the thing is, God gave you a gift
Mm-hmm.
and you got to believe in it. If you want somebody else to believe in it, you got to believe in it yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that it's okay that they're submitting to you. They evidently believe in you and they want to work with you. And on that, they're trying to grow as well. So that's more experience under their belt to be able to put that on their resume. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to kind of accept that God gave you this gift. It's okay. Put it
Yeah.
out there and allow the people to submit and come work on your projects. And I will say, initially when I did my first screening, I heard so much positive energy about my sets and how professional things were ran. It just warmed my heart. So I knew that was something I should continue to do and continue to
Mm-hmm.
inspire other people to do as well. I'm big on listen. If you tell me you want to do something, I'm gonna do everything in my power to help you do it. I just always been that way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I feel like yeah, it is okay that a lot of times there's gonna be a lot of family members, a lot
Hmm.
of people you've known all your life and they may not ever see your film. And I'm okay with that now
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I know there's some people that I talk to and I've been talking to them for years, or they might be family members, and they'll say, yeah, I was telling people about my cousin, and I know you have a film out there, and I be telling people that you have a film, but they've never saw the film. It's just kind of like you'll keep bringing it up, but
Yeah.
you never,
Like, how about you go watch the film first,
yeah, but
cousin? How
you've
about
never
that?
watched the film, or they'll want to
Yeah.
ask like, oh, okay, well, what is it about, or whatever. It's just
Hmm.
like, okay, why not go watch the film?
Go
It's
watch it, support. That way you can know what all the buzz is about.
Mhm.
I mean,
I never
yeah.
understand that to where and I think sometimes when people are close to you, it's almost like they may not see the value in
They
it.
don't see the value or the vision because
Uh-huh.
it's your vision.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to make them see it and believe it. And that's what I said organically, they're either going to draw to you or they're just not going to be receptive of it. But I've been like blessed to say that some people have really organically drawn into
Mhm.
realizing that this is a talent that I have. Whether I put a movie out every 3 years, every 4 or 5 years, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. It's my gift, and I choose when I decide to do a film or when I decide to write. I
Yeah.
will honestly say I don't. That's why I used to not even really call myself a writer. I don't
Mhm.
write every day, but I challenged myself when I did, so I know that those abilities are there. So
Yeah.
when I decide it's something personal that I decide I want to write about, or even like I don't know if you're familiar with deceitful keystrokes.
Yes.
Those are real kind of experiences that, of course, some fabricated, but that I tapped into that somewhat happened in me or my children's lives. So I will say that I have to be moved by something personally that I've experienced in my life, and that
Mhm.
motivates me to write.
Yeah. Yeah, I think another piece of advice that I would give independent filmmakers, no matter how small your movie is, no matter how small your production is, be
Hmm.
proud of what you have and just be as professional as you can within
Hmm.
your realm of what you can do. Because one thing that I felt like I experienced was Desperate Chocolate was my two short films, Desperate Chocolate 1 and 2. Okay, this
Hmm.
wasn't a Hollywood set because I was a new independent filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I felt like sometimes I ran into people to where it's just like, well, I've worked on set with whoever, I've worked with this person. And so it's like comparing my independent film to, something that was, a Hollywood set that had, millions of dollars. Well, when we was on this set, we had this. We
Mhm.
had that.
Mhm.
It's like, do not allow people to make you feel any kind of way, because you're
Right.
doing the best you can within your scope. Be as professional as you can. I had
Right.
my craft services. I fed people right.
Yeah.
We did as professionally as we could on a micro budget.
And
So
it's like a rehearsal. It's a rehearsal to when you, so you'll know what to do when you get that bigger budget, you
yeah.
know? And that's what you got to shoot for. You take every production every time you're on set,
Mm-hmm.
whether big or small, but since we're talking about starting out small, and
Mm-hmm.
treat it as if it is your big time Hollywood production, because one day you're going to get there. And when
Mm-hmm.
you get there, you'll know what to do because you knew what to do when you had a small budget, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
definitely stay motivated till you get
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah, I know for me, I put the um casting call out. I think it was on Backstage maybe at the time.
Hmm. Hmm.
I can't remember all the sites that I put my casting call out on. And so
Hmm.
I would get some, people to where it's like they're used to all, LA stuff or whatever, and they're just like, well, you can fly me out, and then I'm just,
Man, we don't have a budget for that right now.
so they're like,
And
you can.
that's typically what happens when you want to get some talent from, somewhere else. They, of course, you got to fly them in. And so if you don't have that type of budget, then
Mm-hmm.
you got to go find your best actors locally.
Mm-hmm.
I will say for Jaded, um, Charlene um, Brown from Different World. I'm saying her name. Her name is Charlene. Yeah, Charlene from
Uh,
Different World.
her name? Okay. Okay.
Anyway, she was telling me, she's like, I know there's tons of actors out there in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So you find the best talent that's out there. Meaning what I'm saying is just because one person submit for a character, and if
Mm-hmm.
that's the only person that shows up,
Mm-hmm.
you go and get the best of the best in your
Yeah.
city.
Uh-huh.
And work with what you got. You may not always have a budget to go fly somebody in.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go what's in front of you, but search for the best that's in your area.
Yeah, because you guys went to a she was doing like an acting workshop or some type of filmmaking workshop. I
Yes, we went
remember
to
that.
it was something
Now, was that in
a
Houston?
Mac something
Let me
in
see it.
Houston. I think
It was in Houston.
Kevin Tillett, yeah, he invited me out there. We went out
Okay.
there, and it was a wonderful event. I learned a lot of great stuff about pitching your projects.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just
Mm-hmm.
great information as far as the entertainment, attorneys, all that good stuff. So I
Yeah.
think her name was Jaylene Mack or something. She hosted
Okay.
a big event out there that way, and it was definitely informative for sure.
Um, I think that's good information, or just good advice for people to get out there and network.
Hmm.
When there's these events out there, it's like, if you can go. Cause I know Tasha Smith does teaches acting classes, correct? Tasha Smith, I think.
Oh yeah, she does teach acting classes. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that that's pretty amazing, especially if it's someone that you admire and then you can learn from them.
Right. Right.
We talked about just your many, different roles. Where would you want people to go to follow you and follow your filmmaking, and even also with Hack Beauty as well?
I am inspired. I am beautiful. I am daring. I am love. I am me. I am me. I am me. Get hacked. Get hacked. Hugs and Kisses by Deanna.
Where are some ways that people can follow you?
Okay, I'm Deanna Chandler on Facebook. I am Deanna Chandler on Instagram. That's my handle. As far as Reflections, we have Reflections Movie on Facebook and Reflections Movie on Instagram. So you can follow me there and stay tuned with all the information that's up and coming as far as the Reflections movie is concerned. Right now, again, we're streaming on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and Google as of now. And hey, I love your support. Go check out the movie. And as far as Hack Beauty, which means Hugged and Kissed by Deanna, it's a lip gloss line I created back in 2019. Go check out what I got right now. It's available on hackedbeauty.com. HAKDbeauty.com.
It's been such a pleasure having you. I
Thank you.
wanted to say for those who are going to be streaming Reflections, I know all you guys are going to be streaming Reflections. Don't just watch it once, watch it several times.
Cleaning
And
up, got the TV on, streaming.
yes, watch it. I mean, that's one thing I'm really serious about that. Um,
Yes,
go on Tubi and support independent filmmakers.
right.
Play that while you're cleaning the house. Let it stream, and then once you're done, rewind it and let it stream again
Yeah,
several times. Watch it on all platforms. And if you're going to watch it on Amazon Prime, write a review.
yeah. Leave
Write.
a review. Yes, reviews they definitely help out and lets us know, what you really think about the film. And that's feedback that I take in. So when I'm writing next time, okay, may need to give more details. So it's definitely helpful to see those reviews coming out. Well, I think right now we got about last I checked, we had about 16 reviews. So yeah, keep them coming. Keep them
That is
coming.
awesome. That is awesome because it really has not been out there. How long have you guys been? It's been like a month, right? If that.
Yeah. Actually, it seems like a couple of months. No, it's been a good month. I
Yeah.
think you're right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think yeah, it's been like a good solid month. You're right. It's been streaming.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
I feel like that's
Yes.
really good because a lot of people will watch, especially on Amazon, but then they won't review it. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I've asked everybody, hey, review a movie. You get so many will really sit down and really,
mhm,
understand, you wanting to get that feedback, because it helps you be a better writer. In my
mhm,
opinion, it helps me be better, helps me to grow, just knowing what the people really think about your project. So it's
mhm,
definitely meaningful. So if you have Amazon Prime, go on there and review, purchase the movie, rent the movie,
mhm.
review it, and hey, it's gonna help me be even better. Or
Yeah.
reflections too, or whatever I decide to do with it.
Yes. So, again, I really appreciate you being here with us. I'm going to put Deanna's information also in the description box for you guys to, you'll have her website for Hack Beauty, to have
Mhm.
all of her social media links as well. So, I think that that's about it, unless you have something else you want to tell the people or talk to the people about.
No, talk to the people. Well, I just want to say, just keep creating, keep inspiring, keep believing, and keep collaborating. I will say collaboration and working together to get the job done. We can only grow from that. So definitely be inspired and keep creating.
Yes, that is very encouraging. Well, I thank you guys for tuning in again. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a video. And
Mhm.
I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye
All
bye.
right. Thank you, Sonia.